MK, and I am back with another round of Color Craze combination for you guys today. This is the combination that Janet Fritz and I have picked out. We are also playing along with Series 13, Christy's Beautiful Life, 30 Days of Sketches. This is the sketch that we have chosen, and it is by Lorraine Wilmot. I apologize about that, Lorraine. And I am actually going to turn it into a 2-page layout. So I've pulled out some pretty little studio sun-kissed elements that I thought would be perfect for this color combination. So I've got a couple cut-apart tickets. I have a cluster kit that's called Happy Blossoms. So it's got all of these cute little squiggly swag borders and tabs and things like that. I also have the shooting stars, little stars. I have the labels that are just called Sunbeam labels. I thought they were Sun-Kiss labels, so glad I read that. I have the stickers in coral as well. Now, I actually forgot that I had these stickers laying on the side, so when I put my title down, it's not exactly the way that it works. I also have these shaker stars that I did as a class, and then I found all these viewfinders just hanging around my area, my scrapbook area, and then I also had these viewfinders by Dusty Attic, so I would like to use them up, and the bubbles in, or the circles in Lorraine's sketch definitely made me think of I could use all of these viewfinders instead of bubbles, especially since these photos are kind of a blast from the past. So these are photos, they're 4 photos of my family visiting a candy shop in Virginia City, and I love it because it's the old style candy in a barrel shop. I just absolutely love it. And then these alpha stickers here, there's polka dot and there's stripes, and they are from Close to My Heart. So I thought I wanted to use these, but by the time that I'm done designing, they're actually a little bit too big, but you'll see that later. From Stampin' Up, I have this really cool waffle paper, and it actually came from an ice cream collection, and then I also had these sprinkles that had all the colors on them. I forgot that I put oh no, that is the backside, is the ice cream. And then I have an entire collection here just in case I need more paper from that collection, but I didn't want to share the whole collection because it's not available anymore. Also too, I've got this Good Day Sunshine sticker sheet left because I wanted to use that very colorful viewfinder. However, I don't end up using it because the black viewfinders were just fine. All right, so I pulled out another sprinkle paper because I think I'm going to use the sprinkles as my background, because now I've covered every single color that is in my color palette just by adding the background. But for me, I need to add in a neutral. Now there is no neutral whatsoever except for white in the color palette. So because there are browns and blacks in my photo, I'm going to be bringing in brown and black. All right, once I get all of my photos trimmed down and ready to go, I'm actually going to mat them on the waffle paper that I have here. One of the things about Stampin' Up's paper is that it is a little on the thinner side. It's not actually cardstock paper. It's one of those in-between papers where it's thicker than copy paper, but it's not as thick as cardstock. So I am going to take 3 of my photos and single mat them on on this waffle card paper or waffle cone paper. And then for my focal photo, which is just a photo of the shop, I wanted to double mat it, and I'm going to double mat it in the waffle paper. And then I end up, I think, scuffing the edges up with my edge distresser. So that way I can tell the difference between, almost like it was wrapped in waffle cone, but it's just behind. So I was just trying to get my measurements correct, and then I'm going to go around and spray my viewfinders. I'm going to take them all out of the carrier, and then of course off camera I'm taking out all those little squares that are in the within the viewfinders, and you have a little pokey tool that helps me with that. I do end up having to borrow a black spray from Janet. I did not bring a black spray to this retreat. And then we had a few technical difficulties to the point where I had to shut the camera off and just paint them, which was very time consuming because I didn't have a paintbrush. I only had the nozzle for the spray, but it kept getting clogged, and then we took it back. We meaning Janet, took it back and cleaned it, and then she sprayed it multiple times. I sprayed it twice, and it still got clogged again. So we just decided, nah, okay, we'll figure that out later. I'm in the middle of filming, so I'm going to go ahead and just paint the pieces with the nozzle. Okay, so I'm adding very little adhesive to the backside of my photos because I knew I was going to tuck in all of these viewfinders. Now, when I think about it a little bit more, I should have tucked them in a little bit more because when I first see this and see all of these cool little viewfinders all the way going across my page and looking like the bubbles that are in Lorraine's sketch, it doesn't look like a lot. But it ends up looking like a lot in the end to me because all I see is black. I don't see the colors from the color palette. And now that is just me. And pointing that out now, I should have pointed that out later, but yeah, I definitely wanted all the color to stand out, and that's why I chose the black so it would pop off the page. And maybe it was my background. I'm not really sure. But I do know that for some reason, all this color that I am tucking in between my layers and on top of or around my photos, it gets drowned out. And I felt like it was the black viewfinders that drowned them out. Okay, so I went ahead and I cut apart all of those tags or tickets from the Sunkissed collection and tuck them around, just trying to spread that color everywhere because in my cluster, I really wanted to have all the colors. Like inside one cluster, I wanted a pink and a teal and an orange and a yellow and well, I don't really have a red, but I wanted all those colors. And then over on my right page, I wanted the exact same thing. And then with the stars, it was, okay, what am I missing? And I'm going through all the stars and trying to pick out all of the plain stars, the stars that look like a solid. So mostly they're polka dotted or they're plaid. I think they're mostly polka dotted, to be honest. But I wanted to make sure that I got them spread out enough to where I have all the colors represented in all the clusters, if that makes any sense. So I absolutely love the scattering of the stars. It kind of reminds me of the little flowers that Lorraine has scattered between her little dots. Now, I'm not sure if hers are supposed to be bubbles or if they're just supposed to be circles. I do not know the answer to that. But I saw them as bubbles. And then, of course, when I found all these viewfinders that I just had randomly cut, you guys, I have no idea why I had that many viewfinders. But I did end up wanting to stash bash them. And this was absolutely perfect to do that with. It was the perfect layout. In my opinion. I wanted the left page with my single focal photo of the candy shop. I wanted it to be more representative of Lorraine's sketch. And then, of course, the right side was just basically trying to repeat that sketch, only having 3 photos instead of just the one. So, and then, of course, having my viewfinders flying across the page from one corner to the other. All right, so here's where I tried out that the close to my heart, and together Janet and I decided that the stripe was going to be perfect. Now, I did not color them. You won't see the stripe until they are colored, which I didn't want to color them because what if they don't fit? So it's just going to be At the Candy Shop is my title. But it's just way too big. It ends up just being an eyesore, to say the least. I probably could have left the word candy as it was and then added the word shop later. But see how I really wanted to confine the title on that one little strip. And there was no way I was going to do that with those particular alphas. So I went ahead and remembered by the time that I got home. So now I'm at home. And I remembered that I picked out these coral alphas. And so I thought, oh, perfect. I will go ahead and just do at the candy shop with these coral alphas, and they will fit perfectly on my little labels. Like I said, this is just a cute little candy shop in Virginia City, Nevada. And what's really cool is that back in the day, and I remember this when I was a kid, my mom used to take me to a taffy shop. And I honestly swear it was in Virginia City because it reminds me of this. We used to walk down a street, and it was just one street long. You walk down one side and then you walk down the other, visiting all the little shops. And one of them was a taffy shop. And they had big old huge barrels all over the place, just like this. However, the barrel all the way down to the bottom was full of the taffy. Like you could bury your arms down in there and pull it out because people bought it by the pound. And they would sit there and they would have these big old huge giant scoops and scoop out the candy from these barrels. And by the end of the day, the barrels were like halfway gone, right? And then they'd have to make more taffy. And they have this big giant taffy machine in the window that's sitting there pulling the taffy, and it's just so cool to watch. And as a kid, that's a lot of candy. It really is. Now, seeing it as it is now, all of these barrels are only about like 3 or 4 inches deep. They have a false bottom to them, and then it's just the candy sitting on top. And it's probably because they don't want it to go stale. They don't sell the candy as they do or did back in the day. I'm not really sure, but this is my favorite. I absolutely love this, and it just brings back so many memories of that little town. And I could have sworn it was Virginia City when I was a kid. All right, you guys, so that is my layout with my fixed title. I absolutely love it a lot more. My kids went nuts in this candy shop. This is also the candy shop that had the Bob Ross candy, if you guys remember that video as well. So anyways, but it got its own layout because I thought that was pretty cool, having the little happy tree mints. All right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really, truly appreciate it. Please be sure to check out Janet Fritz's channel, who it's Galaxy Girl Creations, here on YouTube, to go see how she is using this color combination. I do know that we made our layouts together side by side at the retreat, so that was super fun watching us pull kind of the same elements, but we did not have that planned. Lorraine, thank you so much for such an amazing sketch. And don't forget to check out the 2 links down below that I have for Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches Series 13. And thanks for watching, and I will check y'all later. Bye.